Tourism destinations from all over the world experience a disaster of one form or another at some point in time. Whether it's a volcano in Hawaii, or an earthquake in California, or even a tsunami in Indonesia. The fact is, disasters can happen anywhere at any time. Fortunately, unlike earthquakes and tsunamis, modern-day tropical weather forecasting provides ample amount of time for preparation, especially here in Florida, where 6 months out of the year, our biggest concern are hurricanes and tropical storms. Now, we all know Florida is a tourism hotspot for its sunny weather and its sandy beaches, especially the Florida Keys, where I was born and raised. Today, I will be discussing exactly how the Florida Keys deals with tourists during a disaster, specifically how the evacuation process takes place. Living here my entire life, I have seen firsthand what takes place during a disaster and how emergency officials get tourists out in a safely and timely manner. For starters, Keys emergency management officials are in constant contact with the National Hurricane Center up in Miami. There is also a Keys Tourism Council that is in constant communication with emergency officials that lets visitors know of any time that evacuation is going to take place. So they have well enough time to prepare to get their things together and leave. Now, tourists are mandated to leave as soon as a tropical storm has reached hurricane potential, whereas residents are mandated to leave once a hurricane has reached a Category 3. Now, the main reason for this brings me to this map here behind me. This map is a map of the Florida Keys. Here you can see this is, the bottom of Florida, and these are the Florida Keys. These red squares for each one is breaking down each key. There's 6 altogether. The one you all are most familiar with is Key West. Now, the main map here is each key broken down. What I want you to take out of this is the fact of this red line. This red line here, you can see it, it's in every single key. This is the only highway that we have here in the Florida Keys. Now, this highway is called US 1. This highway is unlike your typical turnpike, I-75, I-10, where those highways you can go probably about 70 miles per hour. Here, this highway, the highest speed limit that you will ever see that you may be able to reach is 55 miles per hour. Now, the other difference is the fact that this is typically just a one-lane road going one way, a one-lane road going the other way. Whereas the turnpike, I-75, you have at least 2, maybe even sometimes 3 lanes where you can pass. So as you can see, the main problem here with evacuating is it's going to be very, very time consuming. So, because the fact of this highway, evacuation may take several hours, which is why emergency officials give tourists the opportunity to get out as soon as a tropical storm has reached hurricane potential. Now, that is going to leave residents ample amount of time to evacuate themselves without having the tourists in their way. Hopefully, they will already be gone days in advance, if possible. So, now that you know how the evacuation process takes place in the Florida Keys, I suggest the next time you plan to visit, you check the weather well in advance and make sure that the tropical waters have no cyclonic development whatsoever. Take it from someone who has not only spent 6 hours on the road trying to get out of the Keys to evacuate, but my mom told me when I was 2 years old during Hurricane Andrew, it took us about 13 hours just to get back into the Florida Keys. And that was only from Miami to where I live, which is 130 miles. So, I hope you enjoyed watching my presentation. Thank you.